Joy is like a moisturizer to enlightenment. So I like it very much. It's very important to be joyful.
What do you mean by meditation is not relaxation?
For most of us Westerners, we seek relaxation. We call for relaxation because we are so stressed and so anxious. And also we suffer for not being really connected with ourselves. So there is a tension. Always we can feel this tension in us. And what we look for first is to be relaxed. So, but relaxation is not the end of it, is not the fruit, the ultimate fruit that we should seek for. Because enlightenment, or like a presence, consciousness is beyond, is after being relaxed.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. It's where we blend spirituality and practicality to help you live a life of purpose and joy. We have Laurence Bibas with us on the show today. As a speaker, author, and coach, Laurence is a pioneer in mindfulness-based stress reduction. In a world where stress feels nearly inescapable, I'm eager to discover how we can alchemize it and transform pressure into power that supports rather than sabotages our life's journey. Please remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this episode with your family and friends. Now, let's go chat with Laurence. Laurence, thanks so much for being here today, all the way from France. What a delight to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's like a dream come true to be here with you and all the audience. I don't know yet, but it's like a dream come true. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for offering this gathering. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, my honor. You call yourself a joyful scout.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
It means like I love revealing the light that is in ourselves. So my practice is to be connected as much as I can with my inner light, and then also because I see the light in others that sometimes they cannot see. So it's just to reveal this light and tell them, hey, look this way, and you can find your own light.
So does everybody have their own light?
Of course. And I love to do it joyfully because joy is like a moisturizer to enlightenment. So I like it very much. It's very important to be joyful.
Joy is a moisturizer to enlightenment. I love that. Wow, that's quotable. I'm gonna give you credit for that. I'm gonna use that one. What do you mean by meditation is not relaxation?
Okay, that's a very important question because for most of us Westerners, we seek relaxation, and sometimes we call for relaxation because we are so stressed and so anxious, and we suffer for not being really connected with ourselves. So there is a tension. Always we feel this tension in us. And what we look for first is to be relaxed. So, but relaxation is not the end of it, is not the fruit, the ultimate fruit that we should seek for. Because enlightenment, or like a presence, consciousness is beyond, is after being relaxed. So for most of us, when we seek for relaxation in meditation, it's like we go halfway. We don't get we get a bite, but we don't get the whole fruit, and that's too bad. I think not to want to go fully meeting ourselves and our inner nature, and just be relaxed with ourselves. Okay, it's okay to be relaxed, but I feel the adventure is much bigger than just relaxation. And that's why I say, okay, you want to be relaxed, Nice first step, but just once you're relaxed, go deeper, go beyond, and find yourself in your natural state that doesn't need to be relaxed because it's already love and light and joy. And it's much bigger than just relaxation.
I agree with you on that because, as you know, we've worked together. And as you know, I turn my abilities on and off at will. And a lot of people want to meditate for an hour first before they can connect with spirit. And I've found over the years, and this is what I teach, is it's instant. You don't have to meditate first. So that makes total sense to me that the meditation is the relaxing part, but then you gotta go to the next step. How does one do that in your world? How do you teach people to go to that next step?
First of all, um, it's um, it's a desire to be connected with the depths of oneself. And we all have this consciousness knocking at the door saying, I'm here, hello, oh, look at me, I'm here, I'm right here. All you want, all your desire is here already. Hello. And then first of all is to recognize and hear this little voice that's speaking to us and saying, there is something inside that's waiting for you, that's waiting to be activated. And the just to say it, just to say there is something inside that is waiting for you to be activated. We know that. It's like, oh yes, we remember. So as you say, it's instant. And sometimes we just need a reminder that there is something big, grand in ourselves, and we already know it. But sometimes someone has to show it, or maybe say, "Do you remember who you are really?" And then they say, "Oh yes, of course."
But of all of the billions of people on the planet, how many people do you know can do that on their own?
Mm, not so
Not
many.
many. Not so many. I
Not
agree.
many, except for some people having a natural instant enlightenment. It happens. For for some of us, just we wake up in the morning and everything we look is different. We have all the perception is different. So it's possible, but we don't know how much we've been working on that inside, not maybe always consciously. So, but there's a ground. When the ground is ready, that something can appear. But consciously or unconsciously, something has to be opened or nurtured in order to this moment to happen.
Is that what people that go through near-death experiences encounter? And then that seems most of the ones that I've heard, most of the accounts of the NDEs that I've heard, they say there's no going back to living the life they lived beforehand, and that the NDE was the catalyst for them to explore spirituality, to open up their abilities, things like that. Does it take an NDE for somebody to open up their abilities?
In fact, that's a pity. We have to wait to die to recognize the preciousness of life, isn't it? Think in now where we are now as a civilization, our consciousness is not so open. So sometimes we need hardship to open to our beauty. Sometimes we need to die to remember we came here for love. That's where we are now. So yes, sometimes it takes this very difficult hardship to open up to our nature. And then afterwards, once you've seen that, indeed, you cannot go back because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. We have this wonderful nature. It's so obvious. We are made for love, with love, and far beyond what we mean with love. Voilà.
Say more about that. What do you mean far beyond what we mean with love?
Because sometimes when we talk about love, we can sometimes mix love and attachment. And we it's like we need attachment to feel love, so, like for our kids, or um, sometimes love is mixed with ego and wanting something out of it, or like a trade. I give you that, you give me that. And love is like a transaction. Love is like something that is based on history. It's so many times I can count on these people, on this person. So I really love this person. But love can be instant. We all have had this experience that's we meet someone and there is a connection. Maybe it's not a romantic love, but it's something sometimes so much deeper. We feel instant connection, and this is not coming from here, from their history, but directly from the heart that opens, and it, it's not connected to our history. Our deep love is inside of us as a nature, not connected to history. It's not love for somebody or to somebody, is love by itself. And this is what we are made of. This is the fabric that's building us. That kind of love. It's not an emotion, it's beyond, it's a state.
Do you believe that it's the energy of God or source is the love that we are just from an innate standpoint? I've never heard it described like that, but it makes sense.
For me, um, I don't relate too much to the word God, because as a Buddhist, in fact, God is inside. So sometimes when I hear God, and for me, with my education, automatically I feel it's outside. This God, very high somewhere. And with Buddhism, I've heard to reverse this uh, image, to feel that my inner nature is godly, or is connected to this creation, and I'm not a god myself, but God's inside me. That's what I feel. But for me, maybe I'm wrong to connect God with this outside, uh, but that's how life it came to me in my life. So as a Buddhist, I reconcile God inside and the creation that's around us everywhere. And we are part of this everywhere. Of course, we are like a glimpse of this everywhere.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
because I believe we're made in the image and likeness of God, which is source, and we all are a fractal of the divine. So God or source would be inside of us and would be the energy that makes us both our body and our spirit. But I just never thought of it that way before you mentioned that a couple of minutes ago, but it makes total sense to me. So, good job. Good job doing that. What do you say to people who are concerned about not doing meditation correctly because they don't experience the calmness or the clarity that they're expecting?
Mm. That's really a very interesting question, because so many people, I hear so many people, so many of my students say this. I'm not succeeding my meditation. I'm not doing well my meditation. And all this is connected to the feeling we carry. We are not okay. We are not enough. We have to get something outside in order to be the perfect being that we would like to be. And if you when people say something like that about meditation, you can bet That's the general idea they have everywhere in their life, in all the topics of their lives, in their jobs, in their relationships, in with themselves. It's like because I have this lack or this not enough in myself, I bring it to meditation as well. And what I tell them, I say, there is nothing to go for, there is nothing to succeed. Meditation is about just getting used to be with yourself. It's not something to get, it's something to just an exercise to open, to remember who you are. So meditation itself is just a tool. And for many people, it's an end. They feel that if they don't do the meditation correctly, the meditation isn't successful. So the purpose they are doing the meditation for will not be okay. But if you go back to the meditation like being um, a tool, a means to come back to you, knowing that we are already who we are, it's just a click to just come back and remember and reactivate this relationship with ourselves. But we are already here. So that's a paradox. You cannot fail being here because you're already here. So we cannot fail. It's not possible. But the idea, the ego or our thinking mind is always tracking the wrong side. But there's no wrong side, in fact.
Why do you think we always look at the negative side of life first? Is it just innate? I mean, is it all part of the survival mindset that we all come in with? You know, we're looking for the saber-toothed tiger around the corner that's gonna eat us for lunch. Is that what that is? And then have you found in your life that it's a habit that you can overcome by controlling what your thoughts are?
Mm, exactly. That's it. That's conditioning. That's a habit. That's uh, our education, how the society we are in functions. But this is Western society. In other like I don't remember the name in English. Um, in other societies or other organizations, they don't have this. I remember this the first time the Dalai Lama heard about self-hate. He just had the person repeat, said, "What?" I said, "Yes, people, because for ourselves Westerners, we have self-hate." And he said, "But what for? What for?" Because he was coming from this inner, potentially enlightened nature, what is called in Buddhism this Buddha nature, that is this consciousness or this fractal of God you talked before is the same. But if this view is the base camp, rather than not being enough the base camp, you don't look at life with the same eye. It's all about perception. So if we feel we again we have this lack, or if we feel through our education as Westerners, we have to always achieve, perform, and get somewhere. We always forget where we are right now, and we always forget the present moment is a gift that opens all the doors for us.
Which leads me to the question of mindfulness. That term, mindfulness, is a woo-woo term that's used a lot. And I think a lot of people think, okay, mindfulness, but what's an actual explanation of mindfulness? I think it can be being in the present. It can be being kind, treating others with love. It can be a multitude of things. What is mindfulness to you?
Okay. So first of all, I have to quote John Kabat-Zinn, because I was trained in the MBSR, and I trained the MBSR programs. It's been 15 years. I was a pioneer in France to give this MBSR program. And John Kabat-Zinn has a definition saying that it's um, intentional moment to moment awareness on the present moment, non-judgmentally. So that's his definition, okay? Like intentionally present, moment to moment, in the present moment, really here, what's going on now, non-judgmentally. And he said, we have to train our attention to come back and be present where we are now and being connected to our senses. Not just where we are here, but where we are completely, mind, body together. So the training in MBSR starts with the body scan. That is this tool, that exercise that makes, there is the body, there is the mind, and then we stick both of them together, and to be friend again, to make body and mind friend again. Non-judgmentally means to be curious in the process of reconnecting, to be joyfully curious of what's going on, and not judgmentally about I'm here, I want to go here, and if I'm here or almost there, it's not enough. So there is for me, mindfulness is befriending with ourselves, remembering who we are, training to come back in the present moment, and from there something opens. And from there, because the MBSR program is a lay program, so it's not spiritual or something. It's really come back to the present moment, which is already enough. But then afterwards, when you have this base camp in the present moment, you can climb the Himalaya. You have the tools to climb, or to climb, or to come back in in a deeper connection with oneself, because you know how to do it. You have the keys to come back to you safely. For me, MBSR is very important because it helps you to connect with yourself safely. And today, we can say there are many techniques, we can hear about many things that are not so safe. And that's what I really like about MBSR. Many people talk about it, mindfulness, but mindfulness is very wide. First of all, it's like a Buddhist term talking about the mind. But what we do in MBSR, we first collect ourselves in the present moment safely. And for many of us, we are not secure. We feel insecure, and we don't know what to do to be to feel safe. But feeling safe is first of all with ourselves. If we need some, I don't know, money or that kind of person next to you, or some material stuff to feel safe, you will always have the fear to lose this surrounding, and then you will never feel secure. Security is first inside. And for me, that's the first gift of mindfulness, is clarity and security.
For those who don't know, please tell us about John Kabat-Zinn and also about is it MBSR,
Yes.
MPSR? What is it?
It's mindfulness-based stress reduction.
Okay, so MBSR. Tell us about that. And I know you were, like you said, you were the first one to bring it to France. So, and that
Wow,
was a
the
long
first.
time
Yes.
ago. Yeah.
We were a few, like 5-6 people 15 years ago. And so John Kabat-Zinn is this American biologist. He was he was professor in biology and working in close to Boston in the hospital. And then he was so sorry to see that patients that had a severe illness or diagnostic couldn't really help themselves or be comment dire well, I don't know. I leave this for the moment. So um, he said, okay, I practice myself. I practice meditation and yoga for many years, and I feel meditation and yoga is good for me. And when I suffer, this can really help me to reshape. So why not bring a program like that in the hospital to help the patients and also the doctors that are sometimes so sorry not to be able to help further some of their patients. And then he had the intuition of this 8 weeks program that is a training for mindfulness step by step. First half of the this 8 weeks is coming mind body together with some practices like a body scan that I told before, and or like yoga, lying yoga or standing yoga or walking, mindful walking. And then the other half is connected with sitting meditation. That really is the training of the mind that you really can, in being posted in the same place, have several modes of attention, like attention on the breath, attention on the body and the sensations, and also in comfort in the body, consciousness of sounds, of etc., etc. So it's very complete path in 8 weeks that really is a training to become present in daily life, in everyday life. And I feel, because I teach it for 15 years, that when people go through this very simple process, simple but not easy, because people are asked to meditate or to exercise formal practice for 45 minutes every day, 6 days out of 7. So there is a one joker day that you don't practice one day, but it's really a training. And when people come out of this, they are totally different. Even they look different. It's like a inner, like lifting, because all the weight of worry is gone. Most of it is gone because they understand how they function. They understand how they get to to as John Kabat-Zinn says, this is the uh, comment dire, when you have hardship or difficult things in life, and this is the suffering you add to these difficulties. And for most of us, this suffering is unconsciously, we worry unconsciously, we comment everything in our head, and this is very heavy to carry. And when we have the same experience being more light spirited, well, we don't carry so much and for so long the difficulties in our life. So this is yes, how you perceive and what story you're telling yourself to stay in such and such a situation. And we with mindfulness, we learn to recycle much more quickly all the blah 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 in our head.
Do do most of us have subconscious tapes playing in our head about we're not worthy, we can't do that, stuff like that, that we're not even aware of. We're not even cognizant of them. And how does that work? How do we extract really what's playing in the background that perhaps we're not even aware of what's playing, how do we extract that and let that go? Is that through meditation?
Um, Awareness, I would say.
Awareness. How do
Awareness.
you but if something's playing in the back of a person's head and they're not aware of it, does it surface over time when we're meditating, or how does it come to the light? How can it be alchemized?
In fact, I call this like all programs. We all have, all programs and like old tapes. These tapes, they don't exist anymore, but in us, we have old tapes running again and again. And sometimes since childhood, we have this recurrent discourse. It's very, it's so it's so melted in us. We don't hear it as an outside voice, but because it's completely in us. A way to recognize it is, for example, when you wake up in the morning and you go in front of your mirror, or you just wake up, what is the first horrible thing you say to yourself when you wake up?
Oh, wow. Gosh, I'm gonna have to think about that. When I wake up, I always have music playing in my head. Even if I have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, there's always music in my head. And then as I'm awaking, I have what I call divine downloads coming in. It's spirit giving me direction, giving me things to do. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that because nothing comes to mind for me, but maybe it's because I am at such a high vibe all the time, with my work that I've overcome that. But I that's interesting. Huh. Do you still have that, or do you have it any longer now?
Yes, I do. I do
You
have
do?
that. But I realize I have it, which is nice in a way because I can do something for it, but also painful because you realize, I still have this burden. I still carry this voice that, nya, 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 nya. But being aware of it is already gives you a kind of power because you can. It's there. It doesn't go all the way. No, you can stop it, or you can uh, turn the volume more down. But what you said before is nice because once you are at service of the spirit, or once you're cleaned, it's like the 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 image is like a flute where God can play his symphony. So you're empty of all these problems, and you can really receive those downloads. But for most of us, the download is from the critical mind, not from God.
Well, I'm not saying I don't have it throughout the day, but I'm saying first thing when I wake up, that
No,
I'll have to pay attention to that tomorrow. I'll send you a text, let you know what I come up with.
no.
But the other thing too is what I teach is that thoughts don't have a meaning until we give them a meaning.
Mm,
And what's the number? I heard it recently. It's either 40,000 or 70,000 or some huge number of thoughts that we have that come into our heads every day on average. It was tens of thousands. It really surprised me that there were that many thoughts and that we filter through the ones that seem to get through and back to the is it a survival thing that will always go most of us, until we train our brains not to do it, will go to the negative. The what ifs. "Oh my god, if that happens, then that's gonna happen, and that's gonna happen, and that's gonna happen." And we're using our imaginations to envision all this stuff that's awful, that's most likely never gonna happen. And so what I suggest and what I do with myself is if I feel myself in that, I'll go to, "What if this happens and it's great?" And then that leads to something else that's great and something else that's great. And it's a nanosecond to do it, but it's a habit to form that habit when we have a negative thought. Interesting. Huh. How did you get into this in the first place? Did you just wake up one morning and think, I got to figure out how to deal with these negative thoughts in my head? What led you to where you are now with all of this mindfulness training?
In fact, it started, so most of the time in life, the big shifts like that happen when we have something quite difficult. For me, it was when my father passed. I had this opening, inner opening, like he, when when he was gone, I could open myself to my inner world. It was like that, and I was very sad he passed, but also there was a inner freedom that that just opened. That I was. It was okay for me to open to what he would disapprove, like therapy, psychology. Like he was in this uh, voilà, in this idea that all this is unnecessary. And for myself, I feel I was always very interested with how does it work inside. And as long as my father was alive, I couldn't really get there, fully. Like, and when he died, I was walking in the streets of Paris, and suddenly I turned my head and I saw a big sign like that in a shop called Metamorphosis. And I thought, and it touched me like, okay, something is gonna happen. And then,
Metamorphosis.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Metamorphosis.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then very soon after, I had this book, the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying from Sogyal Rinpoche in my hands. And when I opened the book, I started to be actualized. It's each page I did, wow, yes, that's it. That's it. It was like my memory was coming back. It was like I was, yes, remembering who I was, you know, in my core. And then I started this path in Tibetan Buddhism for 20 years with two teachers. And then in the process, I realized I wanted to myself to share also what I received. And this is where I met John Kabat-Zinn at a conference. And the first conference he did in France. And then after that, I wanted to train in MBSR. I went to the States to train in MBSR and started to become a MBSR instructor. And that's it. And my path is spiritual, but also lay with mindfulness in my job, because I feel it's not everybody is ready for a spiritual path, but I think we are all ready to meet ourselves. And we don't not need spirituality, obviously, to do that, but it's for inner connection, we need consciousness. We need to remember there is a possibility to come back. And then after, if you want to go more in spirituality, welcome. That's beautiful. You can do it safely.
People that aren't necessarily interested in spirituality, but pretty much everybody's interested in how to reduce stress. And that's the path that people oftentimes, it sounds like, come in. And then when they're there, oh, here are all these other added benefits that come with it if you decide that you want to go that direction. Am I understanding that correctly?
Exactly. Exactly. For some people, spirituality is innate. They look for something. There's a craving for something spiritual. But for most of us, we don't know. There is this dimension is not useful, because we're living an everyday life where we have stress, we have anxiety, we have money problems, we have relationship issues. So we don't need to go spirituality. We want to first of all to connect with something a little bit better and simple in our life. So for some people, spirituality is giving this. For others, they will go to personal development, to therapy, to MBSR, to reconnect with themselves, and afterwards maybe they want more because they have the basis. They have less an intensity in their suffering, and so they can open to something more adventurous, because spiritual path is an adventure. It's demanding. It's not like, I do something. It's not pink. It's not a smiley. It's wow. It's something.
It's an adventure, all right. Yeah, I agree with that. So, you said that your dad didn't approve of a lot of this stuff that you're doing. I'm gonna call it woo-woo, because meditation goes into woo-woo for traditional people that just think, "Oh, yeah, whatever." Were you raised in a certain religion or mindset, or what was that all about? And then do you believe that that was part of your path because you knew there had to be more, and then that's what propelled you to read the Tibetan book, and then each page, it sounds like as you were turning those pages, it was resonating with you.
Yes. In fact, there was not much of the religion in my growing up. For example, I heard the name of Christ when I was teenage. I had no idea Christ was existing. So it's funny. I was not at all raised in a religious surrounding. So it was like very much based on a loving family, but very grounded on everyday life. Not much discussions about culture or spirituality or something else than you know a, a close connection, loving connection with each other. Well, which is very nice already, to have this loving connection with your brothers and sisters, and your parents and family. It was very joyful. It was always partying, but it was like more the pleasure of life than really the dimension of life, I would say.
And were you finding that you were searching for something more, or you felt like something was lacking?
Mm, definitely. I was looking at the world um, with eyes interrogating with interrogation. Is that only that?
Is that all there is,
Yes. Is
basically?
that all there is? Is life that? I thought, hmm. So if life is like that, I'm not really interested to play with this world. I was not really interested with this just flat dimension. We would say 3D today. This flat dimension of the world. I I thought I probably in me there was this dimension that was sleeping. It's like the sleeping beauty. It was sleeping. I didn't know I had it, but as soon as I got the right environment, the right information, shoo, it woke up.
It's like you plugged in, yeah, to the outlet. And as a Catholic girl, I'm thinking, "For God's sakes, you lived in Paris. There's Notre Dame. There's cathedrals, like, on every corner there." And the spirituality is deep in the culture. But it's and not just in France, but certainly in many of the countries in Europe, that the spirituality was there from the beginning, and then organized religion came in, and it was through that, and now it seems to me from what I read, certainly I don't live there like you do, but from what I read, people are coming back to the spirituality part. There's more to the equation than
Yes.
what meets the eye.
Mm.
And are you finding that to be the case there?
Yes, that's true. And in a way, um, as far as I'm concerned, well, I meet many people that are uh, in duality with religion. And in a way, I was not spoiled by religion in a way, because for many people that's difficult. So I was lucky to go directly to spirituality without the medium, sometimes controversial, of religion.
Mhm.
So it's like spirituality is present in all the religion, but sometimes it's not something we can reach directly. It's like, um, or we have to wait, or we have to go through the media of someone to get directly to our spirituality. What I feel now is like the freedom to access our spirituality is much more today than before, because maybe also there is people when they go through the religion, sometimes they have this spiritual opening, and they don't listen to the religion in the first plan. They can add another dimension. For example, when they hear love of the Christ, they don't hear it through the comment ça s'appelle, um, the not worthy enough side, but like, oh, love is possible. And it's like sometimes in religion we can be trapped in not being enough, also not being worthy to embrace this grace. So, but I feel we are all worthy to embrace this grace.
I agree, and I believe that's changing too, because my parents and my grandparents and my great-grandparents, I mean, they just did what the church told them to do. And even as a little kid, I was like, "Well, that doesn't make sense. I'm not doing that." And so I call myself a cafeteria Catholic. I take what I like, I take what serves me, I leave the rest of it that doesn't. And at the same time, I'm grateful because I was taught as a little child about saints and angels and the Holy Spirit and all of that. So I had a platform of spirituality from which to launch into much a much richer environment, if you will. And I agree with you. We don't need to go through anybody else. We just get there ourselves. What is it about Buddhism that attracted you? And what is it that you still like today?
Hmm. When I heard for the first time the teaching called the Buddha nature, Tathagata Garbha in Sanskrit, this this teaching that we have in ourselves, this Buddha nature that is like dormant, that is covered with a thick ignorance, but as much as thick is the ignorance, it doesn't change at all the perfect nature we have inside, gave me a perspective that liberation is possible. And in a way, I needed this information for my life. I
Mhm.
needed to hear that, okay, as much as you suffer, liberation is possible. We have this innate nature. We have this awakened nature that when you walk through when you walk to this nature, it reveals. And there are many, many methods in Buddhism, and not only in Buddhism, in everyday life, to awaken to our nature. It's not, as you say, the Buddha was not Buddhist. It's not about being Buddhist or being something or that. It's about believing the possibility to be free from suffering, to be enlightened to your true nature. And this, when I heard it, it was enough. I said, okay, yes, that's it.
You were hearing the bells going off, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, this is what I wanna do. All right, let's change directions here. You say that you teach people to use the intelligence of the body through enlightened meditation to resolve problems. Can you describe for us how that works?
Yes, of course. Um, when we when we learn through meditation or awareness to connect to ourselves, we become much more sensitive to the subtle messages that uh, the our being sends us. And these subtle messages very often comes from subtle sensations in the body that normally we don't feel. When we train to really listen to this little, for example, I have the throat subtly cramped, or I have a weight in my chest, or something in my belly. If I don't listen to it, I miss the opportunity to go through those gates to freedom. So the body can provide a path to liberate many of stuck emotions, stuck stories in our being, and it's really our body is helping us, is giving the opportunity when we have this, for example, a shoulder pain or something like that, to say, okay, what's going on with my shoulder? What do I feel now? Okay, can I connect to the sensation rather than trying to get rid of it or reject it? And when I connect to this part that is hurting in me, can I love it? Can I open to it? Can I breathe in it? Can I be curious of what's going on when I stay connected, rather than wanting to get rid of something or hating my body for being this way or that way? And little by little, when we get more sensitive to our body, uh, we can have instant informations of our balance or imbalance in the present moment. And when we get more, um, when we are more aware of these subtle changes, um, we can do something. Just we can do something. We can recognize, yes, I realize this pain is here. I realize this fear is here, or maybe this sadness is here, and this sadness is here, and suddenly, oh, I feel something here. Maybe tears are coming. Okay, can I? Is it okay for me to just feel what's going on and maybe let the tears come out, or do I have to keep everything inside and go like a little soldier in the war of life? Well, it's learning to be more sensitive, I feel.
When back to the shoulder pain, just as an example, when you've worked with your lots and lots of clients over the years, and somebody, let's say, has a shoulder pain, and you're helping them talk to the shoulder pain and feel the shoulder pain and try and figure out what's going on with the shoulder pain, what are some of the revelations that your clients have had? Number 1, and number 2, does it relieve the shoulder pain when they have that revelation?
Most of the time, when you really connect to something in your body that is stuck or suffering, there's a behind story. There is a story behind. And what I do when I accompany, this is more in private sessions, um, my clients, I just this is in meditation. That's why I call that mindful coaching. I accompany them, so it's meditation we do together to go connect in what's going on in the shoulder, for example, and let them come all the images, or the I don't know, the stories, or maybe this pain is connected to another pain here, or maybe at the breast or something. And I accompany them to just travel with what this pain is, what's the story behind this pain. And of course, it's different each time. It's not like the shoulder is connected to this and that. It's connected in the present moment to something, a story, or something that is stuck somewhere. That is, it's turning, and there is no resolution. Something that's looking for a resolution and sticks here and stay there until there is a resolution. But sometimes the pain goes. Sometimes not exactly the pain goes, but there is a haha moment for them to say, "Ah, okay, I didn't know I was carrying that story. I didn't know there was something, um, uh, well, a story about this." For example, when people come in the mindful coaching, for example, they say, "Okay, I have a problem with relationship," and then they end up crying about something that has to do with I don't know, something with the parent from childhood, but it just pops. It just pops.
Comes to the surface.
Yes.
Do you find that often it's more originating in this life or in a past life? Do you find past lives as well as the current life?
It could, but the way I work is not really connected to past life. It's more
Okay.
connected
So
to
current.
this life, and more the present story of the person.
Okay. All right. What's an activation phrase and how does it help?
The activation phrase starts with "I am." After we have talked about the problem, and talked about what people wish for them, and then we go in meditation, we dive in, and there is this opening, this revelation. And then afterwards, I tell them, okay, to to um, to be able to to activate more of this resolution. You what is the sentence starting with "I am" that you can use to remind you in the coming days, coming weeks, that what you've done today. And like, it's something like, "I am a loving person. I love myself first. Um, I am okay to do this and that. I am this joyful flame to nurture life." It can be very creative, but it is powerful, positive sentence, um, that the person can really relate, because they've been working for the past hours around this. They had this feeling, and then they can, with this sentence, they can really, like a mantra, repeat this sentence, and it reactivates the sensation, the feeling of this resolution they had during the coaching.
Last couple of questions as we're winding down here. For people who are interested in learning more about this, is there one or two suggestions that you can make so somebody can start on this path to get to know themselves and just begin the process?
Mm. There is always something good knocking at the door inside of us. I feel there is the goodness is trying to get get away to our daily consciousness. And if we learn to listen to the subtle messages of of our body and mind, we can find a way. We can start to befriend with us. Um, if we were to go through a training, we can start with mindfulness, for example, because MBSR is all over the world. It comes from the US. In every corner, you can find the MBSR instructor. And even though mindfulness, we talk a lot about it now, but the people who have done the 8 weeks program, they they know that it works. It really gives something. For people more like with a spiritual opening, like what can you find authentic path? Can you find something that's really that is not just personal development, or that is just not just advertising for something good, but something that has depth, a tradition. Uh, it can be any direction, but something that you can gives you some um, confidence and security. I feel, yes, security is very important, and so many people today also um, can help us to go through something difficult, a sickness, or voila, so many wonderful people like you, Judy, for example. Like, you open your arms, you open your mind, and you welcome so much people. So it's so wonderful. We are living in this age where love is everywhere. That's what I feel. Love is everywhere. So seek the love. Open yourself to the love. What more?
I agree. Last question. Why do we incarnate?
Hmm. To live the adventure of life. I feel
I
life is
agree.
a great adventure.
I agree.
And that's wow. You come here and you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Right. It's like going on a roller coaster. You know it's gonna be fun and scary and fast and slow and high and low and all of that, and would you agree with that? That it's
Yes, yes.
just
And
yeah.
from what I heard, but you can confirm, maybe even angels envy us because we are in the real thing.
Well, I have heard that they cheer us on and they say, there's no right or wrong, no good or bad in heaven of what I've heard. That's what I've heard many, many, many times, countless times, and they look at us and they say, "Oh, what's she gonna create out of this? She doesn't wanna be in this situation, so how's she gonna get out of it, and what's she gonna do, and where's the creation gonna come from?" So, I agree with you. You are so lovely and so wise, and you're helping a lot of people really not only reduce stress, but find themselves in the process and then take it further into helping them with their spirituality. I know you do that as well. How can people learn more about you and your work?
Um, they can go on YouTube, and then or on just Google my name, and I have a lot of interviews, and you can put instant, but all in French, unfortunately. But you can put translation, instant translation, and just listen, because I love to share this. This feeling I have in me. So I do it. And then they can go on my website also. I've created an English page where they can maybe, if they want more, if they want to have a session with me, or buy my book, something like that. Otherwise, I feel love is everywhere. And I feel maybe I talk today and people say, oh, she's great. But look at your neighbor, look at your kids, look at your partner. It's there already. I feel it's there already. That's what I want to share. No one is going to help you. You're going to help yourself, and maybe some people will be on the way, but mostly we are the boss. Voilà.
That's right. What is your website? For those that are driving and they're listening, please tell everybody what your website is.
It's laurencebibas.com.
All right, so spell it for us.
Laurence, the little
Dash.
dash, Bibas.com.
Perfect. Sounds so melodic. Sounds like you should be singing that. I love it. Well, thanks for taking the time with us this evening for you, this afternoon for me, just because of the time change. We've given you lots to think about. In the meantime, sending you so much love from Sweet Home Alabama, mwah, and from France too, where Laurence is. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. To enhance your spiritual journey, click on one of the videos below and remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this episode with your family and friends.